consignment. Hi. Consignment pieces. I mean, I come from the time where everything, New York was the center of the world. Everybody said, oh, New York, New York. You can't be in a better city than in New York. But now, you know, it's not true anymore. But there's still like really great people in New York. I ended up to have these huge sculptures, the monumental sculptures, like kind of like the sizes of Richard Serra. You know, I have like one piece that's 150 feet by 11 feet high. They're all like flexible walls, like the spiral, red spiral. And I have a few other flexible wall pieces and other huge other pieces. So, you know, I have a lot of very big work. And for that reason, I needed a ground floor. And that's why I decided, because before I had a storage in New Jersey, and then I had a storage in Brooklyn, and I was living in East Village, but it just got really expensive, and then I found this place on the north side, a big garage space, and I decided to combine my living and my work situation together in storage situation. I had a big place in North Williamsburg, which was around 4,000 square foot, and now I got when I had to move out, and my landlord had to give me money, and now I got another space, and I thought it's a great deal because I got like even more space, like 7,500. But it's so much work to develop, and it's in one way it's a blessing, but then at the same time it's a curse, you know, to develop the space I have because it's so expensive. And the place I have is very old. Part of the building is from end of 1876, and then another part of the building is from beginning of 1900. And so everything, and they didn't take care of the building, so it was just totally rotten. Everything is very rotten. I'm working with surfaces a lot, the layers of paint, and I do work with a lot with building and construction. So very much my work is about time, how things change over time, you know. In a moment you have always think there's ego and you have the idea so much, but over time it doesn't really matter, our ideas, because actually more what matters is intensity and that you keep on doing things. You do see, you know, ideas come and go, but then what really develops is that by itself the piece or whatever you do has its own life then, and then it is not so much important anymore whether you are the creator, the artist, because that's just the same like with the child too, you know, after a child grows up, the parents are not so important anymore, you know. And that's a good thing. When you really make good art, the artist is not so important anymore. Who cares whether the artist is famous or not? The same thing with human beings, you know, when there is a great human being, it doesn't matter what kind of parents he has, you know, and he's out of himself, you know. Whether he has famous parents or power, I mean, it doesn't matter. So that's a really special, you know, when you're able to create something which you can step back and say, you know, okay, you know, I did it. I have something done which lives by itself. And that's so nice. So you don't have to be around anymore. And I feel like that's the best. You know? Because a lot of things, you know, a lot of work only lives because of people talk about it, and soon as they're gone, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Advertising, a lot of things in our world nowadays means only because people promote it, you know. And then as soon as they don't promote it, nobody cares anymore. Third world is on its way to take us over. So now we have to really find out why we are doing what we're doing. And we just can't just be so lame anymore about things. In the end of the 60s or beginning of the 70s, it was incredible, you know. So much spiritual connections, you know. People try to do something with love and with try to do something with their spirit. They try to find a new way of doing things, you know. And it was a lot to do with. It was very much a youth culture, you know. I mean, it was not anymore about making money. It was just more about living and spiritual stuff, you know? And that was a really nice thing. And but unfortunately, things also died because people. It was also very few people really understood what it was happening, and a lot of people also did it because it was fashion and it was groovy, you know. I mean, it was very funny. Yesterday I went to a birthday party and saw Jimmy Shelter. You know this film? From '69, there's a big tour with the Rolling Stones all over America. And that was really incredible. All these people, they look the same like now. It's just so weird, you know. When you look at this footage from '69 and the '70s, people look the same. People have the same outfits on like now because everything is so much about this time, you know. And that's what's again also about time. It's just so funny. We getting more and more into a loop, a time loop, because somehow everything is so easy with access now with the internet that, and people spend too much time about searching data which are already existing, that they don't really do some new stuff. They're just chewing it up what has happened already before, and it's just so weird, you know. I think the problem is really the internet, you know. The internet is really a big problem because it takes, I know myself, for myself, at least it takes an hour or 1.5 hours every day I'm on the internet. And then, you know, you're getting more and more into it, and you don't go to a library anymore to get books. When you do research, you just use a search engine. You know what dangerous thing is? Then suddenly everything is possible to control so easily. You can do a mouse click and you can erase history. It's so easy. But when you go to a library, you can look it up, really, the real books, you know. Nowadays, you can control history so easily because people don't really check references anymore. They just go to Google, to the internet, everything, and then soon you don't know anything anymore what's really true. It's so dangerous. I mean, I don't read myself very much newspapers anymore. I look it up on the internet, the news every day. And it's scary. And it's such a different feeling to actually have a newspaper. I don't know, it's closes soon anyhow, you know? It goes till 10.